Hey everybody, today on the episode, how I'm trying to reinvent my business. Let's go. All right, welcome. Welcome to the Life in Flux podcast. I'm Ran Segal, founder of Flux Academy. And on this episode, let's talk about how I'm trying to reinvent, I guess, Flux Academy. And good times ahead. All right. Okay. Hope you had a great week. And I definitely had an intense week, and that's part of this whole process that I'm going through right now. So let's dive right into it. Let me give you a little bit of context about my business. I mean, some of you probably know my business, but I'll kind of share how we got to where we are today, the current situation, and how I'm trying to think about the current situation, the future, and the changes that seem to be necessary. So, quick context, I was a freelance designer, and then had a YouTube channel, and then released the Webflow course, which ended up blowing up, and I decided to go all in on education. And so the way Flux was built was initially there was just one course, the Webflow Masterclass, and then I started adding more courses, a web design course, a freelancing course. And so over time, we got to where we are right now, slowly adding more courses. Back in 2023, decided, okay, we're going to focus on web design software. So also released a Framer course, a Figma course. And at this point, we basically have 8 different courses on Flux Academy. Some of them are taught by me, some of them are taught by other instructors. And basically, we have 8 different courses, and also we have a program that's called Web Career Ignite, which is basically a bundle of all of these courses, including mentoring and a few other things. So that's how we got to where we are today, which in a sense, things were very easy when you have a single product and then a secondary product. Things are easy, but as you have more and more products or offers, obviously things are starting to be a little bit more confusing for people. So that's first byproduct of growing your company is if you have a lot of different offers or products, people are going to be confused, especially in the education space. It's not like of course, it's also true for Apple, right? What iPhone do I need to buy? Do I need to buy this type or that type? Do I need to buy a computer versus a desktop versus a laptop? So obviously, big companies have a lot of products, and it does create confusion. And when you have a lot of options, people are not sure what to pick. So that growing your business, first of all, already starts creating confusion, and that decreases conversions. And I was always, in a way, envy of other, I guess, people in the education space where they either have a single program and they can funnel everybody in the message can be very, very clear. We are selling this one thing. So if you want to buy something from us, this is what you need to buy. This makes things very, very easy. And we were kind of like, again, in a position where we have to educate people and start asking them, well, if this is your situation, here's what you need to do, especially when we got into the teaching both Webflow and Framer, which both do the same thing, right? They help you develop websites. So over time, what I'm trying to say is as we got more products, conversions, I guess, went down because it was more difficult for people to understand what to buy. We started having more sales funnels. So efforts were kind of like depleted because when you have a single product, you can just, work very hard to optimize that and make sure that, the sales page resonates, the funnel resonates, everything resonates. But when you have a lot of them, it kind of like depletes your efforts. So that's struggle number one, the offer structure, I guess. But the other thing is also, obviously, the market is shifting, and in 2 different ways. In one way, of course, people are thinking, should I still learn this stuff now that there's AI? There's some of the courses that we teach, you can call them evergreen. They're always good, and they're not inherently changing. For example, branding process doesn't inherently change. The freelancing doesn't inherently change because there are new tools. Um, but things like Figma, Webflow, Framer, people they still work very very well right now, and there's demand for them, and people are learning them. But I feel like people are, number one, more wary of making a bet on their career if they're not sure what's going to happen. And the other thing is, all of our courses, and that kind of leads to the other issue of the format of the courses. All of our courses were really in-depth courses, and that means that there are courses that are about 12 hours of video content. They're really in-depth, which was something that we were very, very proud of, right? This is not kind of like a surface level course. You really understand what's going on. You really master a skill. And for a lot of these skills, it takes a lot of time to really gain mastery, but it also makes things more challenging when people are not 100% committed to a path. If they're not sure this is the thing that they want to do in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of their life, investing now, let's say 2 months, 2 to 3 months, because to going through a program like this, consuming the videos and also doing the projects, if you want to practice and benefit from doing the work and maybe the certification project, it's usually maybe like a 2 months investment in somebody's time. And when people are not fully committed to an idea, I think they're more wary of investing this time. So as I think, I don't have proof for this, but I just have this gut feeling of people don't want to overcommit to stuff that takes too long to do. And in general, I don't know if people don't want to watch long video courses at this point. Obviously, people are still buying the courses and are still getting results, and it's great. But I do think that there is maybe like a shift in the market where people want to find a way to get the results faster and easier. I guess that was always the case, and not for everything that's possible, right? Because really, to gain mastery at a technical skill, you do need to invest this time. There's no way to shortcut it. But definitely around me, I see more people are experimenting with other formats, whether that's live cohorts, whether that's shorter sprints or things like this. And that leads me to thinking about where to go now with the business. Now, so I feel like, why even make this change, right? Like, who said that what you have right now isn't working? Why change it? I mean, people are still buying the courses, people are still happy with the courses, but I think I'm in this kind of like catch-22 position where I feel like I see where the market is heading, I see where the trend is, and I need to change the trend. And if I think about this again, then when I first launched the course in 2018, the trend was really, I was on the upward of the trend, right? Both Webflow was trending up and online courses were trending up. So both of these trends were picking up in a way that, even if my first course wasn't amazing, even if the landing page was pretty crappy, and, seeing it today, I'm a little bit ashamed, it still worked really, really well because the market really wanted this thing. I think like after 2020, where like I would say maybe online courses have peaked, and everybody was home learning, and everybody had time and everybody had money because they were getting paid to learn. So I think online courses kind of like picked there, but now I feel like the trend is going in the other direction, both for long form online courses, which people has, number one, became maybe cynical about. There's all the cliche of, oh, you're selling online courses, blah, blah, blah. And also there's, the time constraints. Everybody went back to work. Everybody is super busy, especially people who are taking our courses. They usually work full time or already freelance. So they're doing this on top of their normal life. Most of them are not like people who are going to college maybe, and now they have their whole day to study, in which case they could do the course in like a week or two, right? So And also the market is shifting in terms of the software, right? So now with AI going upward so much, people are kind of like scared or maybe not sure about their future or the future of software, just because software is changing so rapidly. And even the software themselves, like Webflow and Framer and Figma, are changing inherently so fast that it's very difficult to maintain the courses. I mean, we redo the course almost yearly now, and it's a lot of work to make sure that the course is maintained. So, what I'm trying to figure out right now is how can we get back on, the upward trend, which is both in terms of what people want right now and how they want to consume that information. Um, Now, it's a tricky situation because I see what's trending right now and I see what's exploding right now. And obviously, it's all in the AI space. And a lot of it is how to make money using AI and AI automations. And like now is the time to make money. There's kind of like a gold rush in the AI space. Um, and that's obviously what's trending. I see this on YouTube. Every video on AI is going viral. Um, So I feel like that's what's working right now, but in a way, I don't want to go there. It's true that when I launched the Webflow course, I also positioned it as, hey, it's a way to make more money, because if you're a designer right now and you're charging for a design and then you're paying somebody else to develop your website, you can make more money if you do both design and development, right? So it is a way to make more money, but also have more control and provide more value to your clients. So it was also positioned as a way to make more money, but it wasn't kind of like, here's the way to make money in whatever, 2018, learn Webflow. And I don't want to go in that direction, is to get into the space of, hey, make money with AI, blah 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 blah. I feel like that's really not what I want to do. I also kind of like managed to stay out of the crypto NFT trend that was going on a couple of years ago, where everybody was, when NFTs and crypto was hyping, and every whatever creator was launching their own coins and their own NFTs and making money out of that. I was really wary of that, and I didn't want to do that. Although I could probably make money doing it, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to, because I didn't really see the value in it. I just thought it was kind of like a money grab, and the people who are doing it are trying to, grab as much money as possible. And maybe I did gave up on a lot of money, but I feel good that I didn't suck into this. And obviously, few years later, you see that, you can debate whether this was a scam, but definitely there's no inherent value in all of the things that people were selling back then. So I'm glad I stayed out of that hype cycle. And I feel, but in this one, it's more tricky. It's difficult to know whether this is a scam, a money grab, or actually a way to help people be more productive and provide more value. So I'm trying to walk a really fine line here between, I want to do what's resonating in the market and what's trending and what there is a demand for. And that is obviously how to leverage this new technology, AI, to be more successful as a designer. But also, I'm very, very careful not to do what I know would be viral, which is to make these outrageous claims that, yeah, you will make more money if you do this and blah, 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 blah. So that leads me to, again, how I'm trying to fix my business. At the end of the day, with business, I feel like not a lot of people are saying this, but it's just trying a lot of things and hoping some of them will work. And to be honest, like for me with Flux Academy, I was lucky that the Webflow Masterclass just worked. It clicked. It was the right product for the right audience at the right time, at the right price. All of these different puzzle pieces fit together In this try, by the way, because it wasn't obviously my first try, in case you don't know the things that I've tried and failed with before, I developed an iPhone app. It was kind of like a motivational quotes app, made $0 with that, and then opened up another business with two partners, the New School, where we also did like live trainings and then online trainings for freelancers that didn't pick up that much. And then we pivoted into like a SaaS product, which was called Prospero, which was a proposal tools, and that worked out a tiny little bit, and then we got out of that as well. So all of these things that I've initially tried and it didn't work, and in my, I guess you can call it fourth or fifth effort, or tried or experiment, whatever you want to call this, I succeeded. So and there's always a factor of luck into that. So I feel like everybody who's trying to sell you of, oh, I know, how to make, I can start a 7-figure business every single day because I'm a serial entrepreneur. Maybe I haven't been able to do that. I think I had a lot of luck into that, and I've been trying, and I've launched a lot of things after that, and some of our courses have been more successful, other have been less successful, but it does take, I was never, I think, lucky again as I was in the first course. I think that needs to be stated. But where we are right now is just, we need to make as many bets as possible in hopes that some of them would work. So I want to share kind of a few of the bets that we're thinking about right now, and we're launching. So one of them is a program with my new partner, Urosh. Initially, we were thinking about doing and how to build an agency program. We tried to validate that, but we thought we didn't see enough demand for that specific offer. But then we kind of like pivoted it into how to use the process that they developed in Flow Ninja to deliver 50K websites. So just like the process for high-end, the strategic process for high-end website delivery, and we call this Web Strategy Master. And we are right now testing out the first cohort to this. We've sent basically just a few invites to people that we thought are going to be a good fit, and we got a first cohort, very small, intimate cohort, and we're going to, so we basically sold that, not publicly, but just like behind the scenes, I guess you can say. We sold a few of these seats. So this is and this is going to be initially a live cohort, 7 weekly meetings with Urosh, and if that goes well, and we might revisit that, we might record these videos and then sell them as a course. We'll see. But so that's the first experiment that we're doing around more what is called high tickets, like a more expensive program, not fully like an online course, but more like a coaching program that is more expensive. So that's one experiment that's going on right now. The other experiment that we're going to do is going to be around AI development training. So I guess you can call it vibe coding for designers, but specifically for the web design space. So we've partnered out with Julian, who is our friend, who's actually a Webflow expert, and there's a video on our channel that he did for us about how they moved their websites from Webflow to a vibe-coded website, why that works for them, why they're happy with this process. And there was a lot of interest from people about how to do this and why this is good and how you can do that. So we're going to teach that, but the way that we're going to do it is going to be on a live 4-day sprint. So we think that if we can package it into a live experience that, again, doesn't require 2 months of your time and like tens of hours, if you can just do with a couple of hours a day over 4 days, that's something manageable for a lot of people to be able to acquire this skill that's also changing very, very rapidly. So we don't want to spend 3 months producing a course that by the time that we launch it, maybe the process has changed, maybe the tools have changed. When we do this 4-day sprint, we can make sure that the day the sprint runs, this is the best process possible. These are the best tools, most up to date. So it gives us the opportunity to work much, much faster. Now, we've never done anything like this. We've never sold sprints. So this is another experiment. We're not sure about the structure. We're not sure about the price point. We're not sure about anything, right? So this is why it's an experiment. Maybe it's going to work super, super well, and that's going to be our new business model, like short sprints. Who knows? We don't know, right? So that's another experiment. And we're trying to do as many experiments as possible. Another experiments that we're going to try to test this year is probably around B2B or team training for Webflow, because specifically, as more big teams are using Webflow, they still need their teams to be trained. And weirdly enough, not a lot of people know this. Webflow, the company, actually hires us to train their team using the Webflow Masterclass whenever they hire new people. So we do trainings for them, and I think this can be a interesting business model to sell to other companies that need Webflow training. So this is one more thing that we don't have a specific offer for. Up until now, if companies wanted to buy the Webflow Masterclass, we would just sell them like a package of seats and maybe give them a little bit of a discount, and that's it. But we never had like a full offer around that also includes maybe live mentoring and that kind of thing. So we want to work on building that kind of an offer, and the point is to just try as many things as possible to see what works. It's basically a process of experimentation. And yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, and that's why I've also moved into like hyperdrive mode where I'm running as fast as possible, just because I want to release as many experiments as possible, so that I know what works and what doesn't work. And also, maybe all of them fail and I need to come up with more experiments to try them, right? There's no guarantee that one of them is going to work. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are right now. I have to the first experiment, the high ticket web strategy master cohort, that's basically sold and is kicking off next week, and I'm excited to see how that would go. The AI sprint is going to be released later this month, and I trying to run as fast as possible so that I can publish this next week, meaning we can share what we're doing, and we have the landing page for this offer up on our website. And it's April right now. Next week, this week, the kids are going on spring break. I mean, this is the last week, and after that they've got a couple of weeks off, and we've got our family here visiting in Thailand, and we're gonna go travel with them mid next week. So I'm going to be away for like a week in the midst of all of this, trying to rush all of these experiments. So I have to finish up this new AI sprint release before I go, which is adding more stress into it. But it's also fun. I feel like I'm at my best when I'm running at these short intervals where I have a short deadline and I have to run, and I know that it's not enough time, but I have to push through. That's where I think I operate at my best. When I have longer deadlines, I would not be as, I guess, not committed, but I need that little bit of a stress to know that the time might not be good enough. And then I kind of like pack and work as hard as I can. And that's super fun. I feel like in the last couple of weeks, I'm coming home like so tired because the days are so intense. It's like packed. It's no downtime throughout the day. I put my head down, come up and see that like 3-4 hours have passed, and it's good. It's good to be in the flow, and it's good to come back tired from a good day that you feel has been productive. So although it's kind of like a time of transition and I don't know if these things are going to work out or not, it's also a fun time to be creating new stuff. That's one of the things that excite me most, is working on new initiatives rather than fixing up, or making improvements to existing things. So that's thing that's happening right now. Also, we're hiring people. So we're hiring for 2 positions around the marketing and sales. And that's also interesting. I've used to not really like hiring. Um, but I'm really glad that I've got my new partner Urs is helping me to think about this, also helping me to interview, and I'm really learning a lot from him. So that's making it more fun than I thought it's going to be, which is great. And the opportunity or the idea of having amazing people on the team who are going to bring in their ideas and we're going to grow that way. And I'm not the only one who has to do everything and bring all the ideas and execute everything, um, is actually a super fun idea. I got used to everything depending on me, and I have to do everything. And that sometimes that's fun because you have all the power and you have all the responsibility, but sometimes that can also be, crushing. That everything is on you. You have to do everything. It's like that can be also very tiring at times. So overall, I'm excited about where we are right now. It's funny because just a few months ago, and I was out of energy and feeling burned out and feeling like I don't have the energy to fix this business and do this turnaround. And now I have the energy and I'm excited about doing it. It's still, the trend. It's very difficult to change the trend of a business. It's not as easy as, oh, I decided I want to switch things around and reinvent my business next month. Everything is great. No, it's still in business, everything there's kind of like delayed results. So, we're still seeing less traffic from YouTube because we haven't been doing great videos last year, and now we have to start doing great things this year, and we'll see the results at the end of the year or maybe even next year. So you have to be patient and wait for that. But it's also good and reduces my stress. A lot of times previously in business, I was stressed if I was not seeing the results immediately, and if you have a bad quarter. And this quarter was weak for us, right? Because we didn't have anything new. We had low traffic. I've also made some mistakes. The fact that we don't have a marketing person right now, and I'm doing the marketing and doing some technical and implementation work that I don't like doing and that I'm not the best in, made me do some mistakes that basically caused us to make less money than we should have made, and it's basically my fault. But it just tells me that, okay, here's another sign that you shouldn't be doing everything on your own. um, I have to admit that at some point, maybe a year ago or something, I had this fantasy of, wow, now with AI, I won't have to hire people because I can have an amazing AI do the work for me with agents or whatever. And I can, because for me, working with people is difficult. So this fantasy of, oh, I'll be able to work with AI, and I'll be able to, the one person gazillion-dollar business, everybody's talking about it with AI. You don't have to have a big team, maybe, but at the end of the day, the responsibility, who's responsible? And the question is, do you want to be responsible? Because at the end of the day, when things break, and they always break, whether that's a person's breaking it, technical breaking them, AI breaks them, things break all the time. The question is, who's responsible for fixing it? And yeah, like who's responsible? And if I'm responsible for everything, that's a lot of responsibility, which leads to a lot of work, which leads to a lot of stress. And if I have other people who I can trust, and it doesn't matter, maybe these people are using AI, or they should be, obviously, but at least I know that there's somebody that I trust who is responsible. So having made the mistakes that I've made right now, just kind of makes the feeling of I need a person that I can trust who's going to be responsible even stronger. And I'm excited about finding this right person. We also have, I have a few interviews today and next week, and I'm excited about these people. So it's nice to be excited about people who are like, yeah, I would love to work with that person. That could be fun. I think we can do a lot of cool things together. So overall, exciting times, I would say. So that basically sums up where I am right now with the business, trying to reinvent it. And that means both launching new stuff, making a lot of new experiments, but also building a team to make sure that it's not all on me and I have to fix everything. I have to reinvent everything. But you have a strong team that can help you think through things and execute on things. So that's it. That's my week. As I've mentioned, next week I'm going on a little trip, possibly a surfing trip if there's going to be waves where we're going. So that should be pretty fun. And so I won't be uploading a podcast next week, but I hope you have a fantastic week. And I will see you when I get back with more stories on how these new initiatives are shaping up, who we hired. Yeah, exciting times ahead. See you on the next episode. Peace out.